Hello everybody, my name is 80 here to you, and off screen I defeated the warthog that was chasing us around, but today we're going to be conquering the Misty Bog, so without further ado, let's go inside. And this video is also in post-commentary because I felt like doing post-commentary while I was doing this video because I couldn't talk straight when I was trying to record. So hopefully things go better this time around. So now we're entering the Misty Bog, and let me just say, one thing I really like about this area is that this area, throughout the entire game we've seen how hilarious the enemy interactions are, but this place in particular has some of my more personal favorite interactions between the enemies. I really liked how the one enemy was like using the vulture as a battering ram a couple videos back, but one thing but there are some pretty funny moments in this area too, and we're gonna be introduced to quite possibly what is the perfect combination of adorable and outright terrifying. Those tree stumps that chase us around, they look so adorable because they look like bunny trees. That's the only word that I can think of to describe those enemies. They look like trees, they will chase you, but when they open their mouth, they look like bunnies. So that's the only way that I can think of to describe them. But at the same time, when they actually capture you, that can be pretty terrifying. Because they like swallow Spyro whole, and it can be pretty nerve-wracking, and it's actually kind of funny when they do capture Spyro, because they swallow him whole, and as you try to get out, how you can get out of that is you just mash the buttons. That's the way I get out. That's the way I escape them. But the thing is, when they do capture you, what you need to do is that you need to like mash the buttons. But the thing is, when they do capture you, when they spit you out, they make like a burp noise, and it's the funniest thing ever. It's one of my favorite enemies in this entire game. They are so adorable, but they're also really terrifying. I just don't know how to describe it any other way. They are so adorable, but they're terrifying. One thing that was said in the previous video was how the background was faded out as opposed to being less detailed, and that continues on with this area because even though this is we're in a misty swamp, that's what I was talking about a moment ago, how they swallow Spyro whole and then they spit him out. I'll continue what I was saying a moment ago, but right now there's a dragon right here and he's gonna be rudely interrupting us.
Be on the lookout for attack frogs. They are cold-blooded killers.
Attack frogs?
And this used to be such a nice swamp.
Alright, before I continue on, one thing I want to point out right now is that enemy over there, that's one of my favorite interactions between the enemies in the game. How that guy's literally running around in circles trying to get away from the warthog. That is so hilarious and adorable. I just love this game because of that. This is one of my favorite platforming games out there because of how adorable the enemy interaction is. I just love it so much. Now, one has to wonder how they even got on this island. Like, did the guy appear and the warthog was just born on the island and was able to get off and was chasing him around for food? Or was he trying to hunt down the warthog and the warthog got upset and started chasing him? That is something that I'm a little curious about, like how those two ended up on the island. Next, we're going to be using our super awesome powers. I'll push the square button and charging our enemies. And just do that, and super awesome and stuff, and break these barrels and things like that. As I was saying a moment ago, I do understand this area is kind of a misty swamp. I'm getting so sidetracked right now. This area is kind of like a misty swamp-like area, but the thing is, I don't really like how everything in the background just fades away rather than becoming less detailed. Now there's another thing that isn't necessarily an enemy interaction, but it's a very funny detail that I want to point out. That chicken right there, if you leave it alone, it will get trapped inside that crate. The enemy that was guarding that crate, this applies for the enemy that was at the beginning of the level as well, but if the chicken traps it, that's when the enemy becomes active. But the thing is, you don't actually have to fight that thing. Well, you do for 100% of the game, but the thing is, if you just destroy the chicken, you can leave the guy alone, he will not attack you. And what's really hilarious, and this is another one of my favorite details in the game, is that he'll have a pair of headphones on with like a radio on his side. Like, he will have like a music player with headphones on, while he just waits for the chicken to get into the crate. That's one of my favorite details of this game because it just really adds a sense of realism to like a cartoonist game. Well, not a sense of realism, but a really awesome attention to detail. Like I really love that in these kind of games, like a cartoonist game, how they put so much detail into it. It's like Wreck-It Ralph. It's like Wreck-It Ralph, how they have so many details, like Pac-Man eating the ice cream cones, and like the one graffiti wall that says Aerith lives from like Final Fantasy VII or whatever. Just little details like that just really makes a piece of
Thanks for
art.
releasing me. It seems like I've been trapped in here since I was your age. No, no. Why, I remember... gotta go.
And the trend continues as Spyro being a jerk to the elderly. Spyro, you are a jerk! Okay, there's some more gems up here, which is kind of cool. It's in an area that you think you wouldn't have expected, and we've gone over this before, how the game kind of does that a lot, where you think you wouldn't be able to get to an area, but then you actually can, and it's awesome. That reminds me, well, that doesn't remind me, this is something I want to talk about. There's this game coming out next year called No Man's Sky for the PlayStation 4 and the PC. That game looks so awesome. That game has like randomly generated worlds. Like they made an engine that would randomly generate a world that's full of animal life, plant life, continents, just all sorts of details. Like an entire planet is randomly generated, and you can explore whatever planet you want as long as you have like a private spaceship or whatever. That game looks really amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. That's like the game next year. Aside from The Legend of Zelda for Wii U, No Man's Sky is probably the game that I'm looking forward to the most. But the thing is, I have my doubts that my computer can actually run the game. I've been thinking about getting a PlayStation 4 lately because I have a couple of friends who are like, oh my god, you have to get a PlayStation 4. Rocket League is so amazing and things like that. But the thing is, I've been thinking about getting a PlayStation 4. I've been putting it off getting one because I have a mindset where I figured by the time Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, then all the games I'd want for the PlayStation 4 would already be released, like Rise of the Tomb Raider, No Man's Sky. But the thing is, No Man's Sky might be the game that fully convinces me to get a PlayStation 4 because No Man's Sky looks so awesome, and I have my doubts that my computer can run it. It's like a Windows 8 laptop, and Tomb Raider Reboot, while it does run smoothly, it kind of has a bad frame rate on my computer. I'm just really looking forward to No Man's Sky. And another game that's similar to that, but not exactly the same, that I'm so looking forward to, and it's coming out super soon. By the time this video comes out, the game's probably already released. The game I'm talking about is Xenoblade Chronicles X for the Wii U. And while No Man's Sky has like a near infinite amount of worlds, like I'll put on screen right now how many worlds are in the game. Xenoblade Chronicles X only has like one world and one entire planet you can explore. But the thing is, No Man's Sky, that game, the planets in that game were like randomly generated. But in Xenoblade Chronicles X, they made that entire planet by hand.
I'll tell you what to do with those creatures. Smash them, Spyro! Stamp them out and squish them and squash them!
How about charge them and flame them? We are dragons after all.
Okay, as I was saying before the dragon interrupted me, the difference between Xenoblade Chronicles X and No Man's Sky is that the Xenoblade Chronicles X, they made that entire planet by hand, whereas No Man's Sky, everything was randomly generated. Like, No Man's Sky has every possible world that could be in the game, based on the models that they've already made. But with Xenoblade Chronicles X, everything was made by hand, and I'm just so impressed with that game. I'm impressed with both games. Both of them look so amazing. I'm so excited for both of those games. So that's all I can really say. Those two games are like the biggest games I'm looking forward to. And let me just say, because I pretty much explained everything about those two games, one thing I want to point out is that jump. Getting to the top of the castle and jumping to the ledge, That is what caused me the most fail in this video. Look at the time for this video. This video is 11.5 minutes long. This video had like a 40-minute recording session because I couldn't get to the top of the castle and get on top of the tree stumps in a way that would actually look smooth, in a smooth transition. And the thing is, I actually got a game over because of this. I kept falling into the death water. I kept falling into death water, and I kept dying because of it, and I got a game over. So, yeah, that's my little story of my epic failure for today. But enough about that, because we got all the gems and the dragons, and if I remember correctly, we already have all the dragon eggs in the entire game. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the reward for getting all those were, but now that we've gotten everything, we're going to end this video off here, so let's go inside the warp area that takes us back to the Beastmaker's World. And on that note, we're going to end this video off here, so thank you guys so much for watching this video of Spyro the Dragon, and until next time, gear to you. Oh yeah!